Okay, so the problem is why the discom is not able to raise the prices and why they are suffering so much of losses. We have already discussed that 25% of the energy is already lost in the transmission process, and the remaining, that is 75%, is sold at a price which is much lower than the discom procurement prices. That means if the discom is procuring at 7 rupees 7 per unit, then they have to pay at rupees 5.5 per unit, and sometimes 6 rupees per unit, like that. There's just an example that I'm giving. So why they have to do this kind of loss and why they have to bear this kind of losses? It is because the increase in the tariff rate is avoided just because there is a political cost that is involved. Like there is a political unwillingness at the heart of the commercial loss, because we know that there is lot of promises that is made by the political parties, and political commitments are there, like if I come to the power, I will waive off your power bills and like that. Okay, so because of that, the whole burden goes on to the distribution companies. Okay, and there is an increased gap between the aggregate commercial average per unit cost of supply and average revenue realized. Okay, so there is a gap that is also getting increased between average per unit cost of supply and average revenue that has been realized. So this is again being increasing, right? So in order to make sure that the discoms became financially viable, so the Uday scheme came into being. Okay, so what is the main purpose was the Uday is that they will be taking the discom debt. The state government will be taking the discom debt on themselves. Like they have to take around 75% of the debt, not all together, but in stages, like within 2 years. Like for the first year, 50% of the debt they have to take, and for the next year they have to take 25% of the debt. Okay, so the state government took over 75% of the debt of their discom, and then they issued lower interest bond to service the rest of the debt, right? So then there is a foundation on the discoms also, that they also have to do something. Like they have been raised the target has been given to the discom that you have to meet the operational efficiencies parameter. You have to reduce aggregate technical and commercial losses. Okay, and that too in a properly timely tariff revision you have to do, and you have to bridge the gap. You have to bridge the gap between average per unit cost of supply and average revenue realized. Okay, you have to bridge this gap by 2019. So what are some of the positive outcomes that we have seen? So 28 states who have implemented Uday, so 10 states have shown that there is either reduction in their losses, and or some states have even shown profit in 2019 in their distribution companies. So okay, so it is, Uday is not only focusing on the distribution companies only. Uday is focusing on coal intervention, generation, transmission sector, everywhere, so that it should become a integrated work. Okay, right? So however, the indication are that the turnaround as envisaged by the Uday hasn't materialized, but it shows that whatever has been expected from the Uday has not been realized or materialized properly, and there are a lot of targets that has been raised, has been missed, and especially the deadline of 2019 has been missed by most of the targets. Okay, so what are some of the positive outcomes? So first of all, we will see there is a depth reduction. If we go by Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, their discom depth have reduced significantly. Okay, there is a noticeable decrease in the interest cost. Then there is a operational improvement. If we go to Andhra Pradesh, they are able to reduce their aggregate technical and commercial loss from 10.3% to 9.7%, because they are able to properly improve their billing efficiency efficiencies and collection practices. Then there is a improved supply of the power, like Maharashtra has been benefiting from the improved coal supply agreement, and there is a reduction in the power purchase cost and better availability of electricity. So here in all these places we have seen certain positive outcomes. Now after that, some issues are still being there. Obviously, again, aggregate technical and commercial loss are the main thing which is being plaguing this whole discom process. Okay, so it has been said that by 2019 aggregate technical and commercial loss should be reduced to 15%, but right now average, if we go by that, most of the states are still having 19.05 aggregate technical and commercial losses. Especially if we go to Bihar, they are struggling with high aggregate technical and commercial losses. Despite Uday intervention, there is need to be more and more effective implementation strategy has to be there. If we go to northern central part of the India, the losses are much more higher because there is a lot of pilferages continues to be very rampant. Okay, then average cost of supply and average revenue realized gap is still not being coming down, and it has been said that we have to reduce the gap between average cost of supply and average revenue realized, but still that has not been eliminated by 2019, and still it is there. 0.25 rupees per unit it is still being there. Okay, so in many states the gap is even very higher. So this is what we have given the average, but there are certain mixed progresses are also there. So operational efficiency target like feeder metering, smart metering, feeder segregation are still not complete. They are going on, but the pace of installing these new infrastructure is at a very slower pace. Okay, like not much progress has been made in case of smart metering above 200 up to 500 kilowatt hour and up to 500 kilowatt hour, right? Then there is also a inadequate power supply, like power subsidies released by the state government to discoms has to is there again, it is an inadequate. Okay, so we see that discoms have reported a loss of rupees 21,658 crore at the end of 2019, reversing the declining trend. Okay, so there is no declining trend, again it is a increasing trend. Okay, then there is a economic roadblock is also there. So Uday bonds were issued at a premium. Due to this, the cost of debt servicing has gone up for the Uday states. Okay, so the impact on the state finance is likely to continue because of the interest payment or the Uday bond and redemption on these bond. So this makes for a grim prospect for most of the state combating tight fiscal situation and continuing slowdown. Okay, now there are so we have already discussed regarding the aggregate technical and commercial loss related to Bihar. Now regarding the state government financial burden, if we go Jharkhand government, there is an increased fiscal deficit because Jharkhand government is trying to pay the debt from their own budgetary allocation, so their fiscal deficit is rising. Then regarding the sustainability issue, Punjab has shown initial improvement in the financial health. They have shown shown signs of being unsustainable without ongoing reform. Then performance monitoring, so Madhya Pradesh faced challenges in various performance targeted, so there is inadequate enforcement mechanism leading to the missed deadlines. Then there are inconsistent results, like Gujarat has shown a significant improvement, but with reduced losses and better financial health. States like Uttar Pradesh are lagging behind despite being effective at various places, but still. So what we say is that Uday scheme has worked at some place and other places it has been still lagging behind. So there is a need to further look on to that and how we can further enhance this whole activity. So government announced a Uday 2.0, like installing the smart prepaid meter, prompt payment by the discom, making coal available for the short term, and review gas-based plants and steps in the. So these are some of the infrastructure side work that can be taken in order to improve the financial health of the distribution companies. After that, there is a urgent need to address the issue of burgoing outstanding dues that has to be solved, given to the power generator. Okay, so they have to solve the issue, they have to transfer the money to the power generator, because if this this is like a cascading effect. If you are not providing to the power generator company will not able to generate the power, so this is going to be moving towards the insolvency proceeding. Okay, so this will move towards your non-performing asset criteria. Then formulation of pragmatic power tariff, proper power tariff policy is needed of the hour, because there is a need to be financially viable power sector, and subsequent socio-economic growth of India will, otherwise it is going to be suffer. Then we know that Indian government has said that there will be 24 cross 7 power supply to every villages, every town and every places in our country. So if we really wanted to achieve that dream, okay, so there is a need to have a sustainable power sector projects. Okay, that is why then only our government will be proactively will address the concern of these power sector distribution companies. Now we are moving towards the next scheme, that is called Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana, DDUGJY. Okay, so for the sake of convenience, I will only say Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. Okay, so the main purpose of this scheme is to provide continuous power to the entire rural India. Okay, so this was launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in November 2014, which says that the government has decided to electrify 18,452 unelectrified village within 1,000 days. By May 1st, 2018, it is one of the very important initiatives of the government, or we can call it as a flagship initiative of the Ministry of Power, because government wanted to connect each and every household of the country with the electricity, which is because electricity is a basic need of a person, which is very extremely vital for the growth and the development of the country. Okay, so the scheme will replace the existing Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana. Okay, so the scheme has already replaced that Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana. So the main purpose is to provide rural electrification to each and every household, and there are a lot of schemes under Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana, so they are all being subsumed under this new scheme, that is Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Jyoti Yojana. Okay, and whatever the amount that has been there in the Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana has been carried forward to the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. So this is a flagship program which is of Ministry of Power, which is going to provide and which will facilitate 24 cross 7 supply of electricity to the rural India. Okay, so Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. So what are the main components of this scheme? So first of all, the government has done the separation of agriculture and non-agriculture feeder. Okay, so that judicious restoring of the supply to the agriculture and non-agriculture consumer in the village. That means agriculture feeders are different, agriculture and non-agriculture feeders are different. Okay, based on that they can just supply at various places. So this is what separation of the feeder has been done first. Then sub-transmission and distribution infrastructure has been strengthened properly in the rural areas. Proper meter distribution, proper transformation installation, feeder and consumers are being connected properly, and microgrid and off-grid distribution of the whole rural electrification has been sanctioned under the Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana to be completed. So whatever was there which has been left behind in the Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana has been shifted to over here. So here under the salient features, this has been subsumed, and all the distribution companies are eligible for financial assistance under this scheme. So any of the distribution company who is working under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Jyoti Yojana, they will be eligible for any kind of financial assistance. And Rural Electrification Corporation of Corporation Limited, that is REC, will be the nodal agency for implementation of this whole scheme. So as we have already discussed that Rural Electrification Corporation of India Limited is a nodal agency which will be operationalizing and implementing the scheme, and they will be under the overall guidance of Ministry of Power. Okay, so the nodal agency, which is REC, they will be getting around 0.5% of the project cost, which will be approved by the MC, that is called monitoring committee on award cost, whichever is lower. So all the notified guidelines format required for implementation, they will be keep on updating from time to time. So there is a appraise the detailed project report before putting it to the monitoring committee, and they will be conducting all work relating to the holding of the monitoring committee meeting for approvals, then administer the grant component, develop a dedicated web portal for submission of the detailed project report. Okay, so any discom wanted to any distribution company wanted to submit their detailed project report, they have to submit through a dedicated web portal, and also they have to maintain the management information system project. Okay, and then they will be monitoring physical and financial progress of the project, like quality of work. Nodal agency will be also deploying the third party service of the outside agency for evaluation of the project properly. So this is the role of the nodal agency, that is REC. Okay, for focus on detailed project report, conduct of the all work related holding, then grant component, dedicated web portal, third party evaluation, and everything will be done by the nodal agency, right? So what is the benefit of the scheme? So obviously, with the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana, all village and household will be electrified. Agriculture yield will increase because they will have a separate agriculture feeder that will be there. Business and small household enterprise, MSME enterprises will be growing because there will be new avenues, because power supply will be there, so they will be able to develop their own employment and own businesses over there. Healthcare, education, banking, ATM service, all will be working in a proper shape. Then improve in the accessibility to radio, telephone, television, internet. That means much more connectivity. Okay, much more connectivity will be provided. Then better social security because of the availability of the electricity. Then because of the availability or accessibility to electricity, schools, panchayat, hospitals, police station, all will be working at their more efficient way. Rural area will get increased opportunity and comprehensive development areas. Okay, now what is the budgetary support that will be given under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Jyoti Yojana? So under the budgetary support, the full scheme will be provided with an investment of rupees 43,033 crore, where this includes a requirement for budgetary support of rupees 33,453 from the Government of India over the entire implementation period, and all the distribution companies like private distribution, state power distribution companies. So these are all discom companies. They are eligible for financial assistance under this scheme. Okay, if you are eligible for that. Okay, so discoms will prioritize strengthening the like what is the role of the discoms, what role the discoms has to get is they need to strengthen the rural infrastructure. They have to work for very specific network requirement. They will be making detailed project report, and they will be putting into the web portal. Okay, so rural electrification company, we know that is a nodal agency which will be operationalizing this project under Ministry of Power. Then monitoring committee, what is the role of the monitoring committee? So monitoring committee will be under the chairmanship of the Secretary Power. Okay, so they will approve the project and they will also monitor the project. Okay, so suitable tripartite agreement will be executed between Rural Electrification Corporation, Ministry of Power, and state government and the discom. So this is a tripartite agreement will be done between these three agencies as prescribed by in the scheme. Okay, so this is the role of the monitoring committee. So what is the mode of implementation of this whole? So the project will be implemented on turnkey basis. That means turnkey contract will be awarded after carrying out the open competitive bidding based on the fixed price basis. Okay, so there is no provision for price variation. So there is a fixed price basis there, and the project has to be awarded within 3 months from the date of communication of the approval by the monitoring committee. Okay, so within 3 months you have to award the project. However, in any of the exceptional circumstances, execution on partial turnkey, differential basis, they can be permitted, but based on the monitoring committee approval. Okay, then execution period. Once the project has been awarded under the scheme, the project has to be completed within a period of 24 months from the date of the issue of the letter of award by the utility. Okay, so this is a 24 months. Within 24 months, within 2 years, you have to finish that project. Okay, under the funding mechanism, 60%, like a grant portion of the scheme is 60% for other than special category state, and up to 75% for the other state, and 85% for special category state, up to 90% on achievement of the prescribed milestone. So this is how, like, incentives is also being provided, like 60% for other than special category states, and up to 75% if you are achieving certain prescribed milestone within a reputed timing, then you may get a funding up to 75%. But and for other states, you have a funding of up to 85%, but if you are achieving certain milestone under that special category, you will get funding up to 90%. Okay, so the milestone for the additional grant and timely completion of the scheme, and if you are doing like a timely completion, reduction of ANTC losses, okay, upfront release of subsidy, all these things will be checked, then only you will be able to get the special category. So under that, there are all northeastern states, Sikkim, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, all these are coming under the all special category state. So what is not included under the scheme? So work already sanctioned under other scheme of the government of India will not be coming under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. Then service lines to above poverty line consumer, underground cable work, cost of land and substations, civil work and other than sub work, compensation towards right of way, distribution, automation and IT application, office equipment fixture, spare part, tools and plants, vehicle, AMR, AMI, prepaid meters, smart meters, salaries and establishment. These are excluded from the scheme funding. Okay, this is being excluded from the scheme funding. Now, some of the very important challenges which are being there in the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana is financial constraint. Okay, so financial constraint impact the speed and the extent of the upgrade, because finance is a very important thing. Okay, so if finances are not getting properly, so the speed and execution of the projects gets delayed. Okay, some states like we have a Jharkhand, it is facing delay in the project execution because of financial issue. Okay, because they have a limited budget allocation, so there is a slow pace of electrification infrastructure. Then there are like, if this is one, we have operational issues like delay and quality issue in some regions are there. Okay, like Madhya Pradesh is there, where delays are there because of the completion of the feeder separation product and poor quality of the installed equipments. Okay, so then again there are operational inefficiencies are there, and the consumer are dissatisfied. Then third one is your maintenance and sustainability. Okay, so whatever you make, it require continuous investment and efficient management. Like if we go to West Bengal, many villages were electrified, but regular maintenance is not taking place. So because of that, the lines are breaking down, the service is getting disrupted. Okay, so there is a need for proper sustainable maintenance strategy has to be there. Okay, now what is the socio and economic benefit of the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana? So some of the very important socio-economic benefits are, first of all, is economic growth. Okay, so it boosts the productivity. It will support small scale industries like Punjab. If there in the Punjab there is an improved power supply, so farmers are able to adopt modern irrigation techniques, so their crop yield has increased. Okay, like small scale industry like dairy farming is there, food processing industries are there, so it is boosting the local economy. Okay, so you can see like how a single change of a power supply is benefiting the whole lot of industries the way. Okay, then quality of life, so it improves the educational opportunities, healthcare and living standards. Okay, like in Kerala, there is a reliable electricity which is coming, so it is allowing the school to extend the hours, study hours. They are utilizing digital tools. Because of that, the outcomes, the learning and productivity outcomes are much more. Health clinics are also being learning and health clinic, and then we have a Sanjeevani e-Sanjeevani portal is being running properly, which is providing online consultation to the people could store the vaccine and they can operate equipment reliably and enhance the healthcare services. So this is how the things are changing. Then there are certain criticism and recommendations also related to Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. So what are they? So inclusivity approach. In some areas of the tribal area of Chhattisgarh, a lot of progress has been done, but the Yojana, the scheme has not reached fully to all the communities because of the geographical and logistic challenges are there. Okay, so a more and more inclusive approach is needed so that all regions should benefit. That is the first one. Obviously, that is correct one. Then sustainability, integrating solar power system in rural electrification project in Rajasthan has showed a potential for sustainable and eco-friendly. So here what in Rajasthan they have done is that they have integrated the solar power with the normal power line. Okay, so that there should not be disruption of the power of the supply line. Okay, so this has reduced the dependency on the traditional power and it is also ensuring long-term sustainability. So this is one of the innovative way of utilizing the solar power. Then monitoring and evaluation, regular audits, real-time monitoring system in Karnataka has helped identify and address issues promptly, ensuring the timely completion of the project. That is also correct. Then capacity building. Training programs has to be there, local technician has to be trained, engineers have to be trained, like in Andhra Pradesh they have done that. So now since they have got a special training on these aspects, so they are able to properly maintain the new infrastructure, ensure the technical issues, and they are also able to resolve quickly and effectively all the things properly. Okay, so what are the very important recent updates are there? So the project has been taken on a mission mode. Okay, so now they are trying to squeeze the implementation process to 12 months, and they have even divided village electrification process in the 12 stage milestone that they wanted to get. So like in 1654 villages were electrified during April to August 2015. After that again they have selected 5689 more and more villages. So they have taken all this in a mission mode. Okay, mission mode. So Gram Vidyutikaran Abhiyanta and various actions are also being taken over there on a monthly basis. Review plans, planning, monitoring and everything is being done, and state discoms has been made more and more strengthening so that the milestone progress has to be achieved. But because of the issue with the distribution companies and the power companies, so the project has been little bit delayed, but slowly this project is going to be completed in the coming future. Okay, now we are moving towards the next Yojana, that is called Saubhagya Yojana. Now, what is Saubhagya Yojana? Okay, Saubhagya is empowering every home with electricity. So, Pradhan Mantri Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana, that is Saubhagya. The main aim is to cover 4 crore rural and urban families to electrify. It is not just the village electrification, it is to electrify each and every household. Okay, each and every household. The previous one, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana, is for the village electrification, and this Saubhagya Yojana is focusing on the household electrification. Okay, so this was launched in October 2017. Main aim is to provide universal access to electrification, provide electricity connection to the unelectrified household in rural area and or poor household in the urban areas. Okay, so it is one of the world biggest, it is one of the world biggest, 1 minute. It is one of the world biggest universal electrification initiative with collaborative effort of the central and the state government. It is in concurrent program with Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. Along with that, it is running. Okay, along with Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana, this program is also running, and Rural Electrification Corporation of Limited is a nodal agency which is also implementing this whole project. So the goal is to electrify the every household to the last mile connectivity. So power to all unelectrified rural families and poor urban household like that. Okay. So what are the salient features? So the products, the beneficiaries will be getting free connection. And how they will be identified? They will be identified based on the socio-economic caste census that has been done in 2011. Okay, and those household not found eligible as per socio-economic caste census data, they will be also provided electricity connection on the payment of rupees 500, and that will be also recoverable in 10 installment through electricity bill. So it is like that. It is not like that only socio-economic caste census people will be getting. No, anybody who is not having, even if their name is not there, they will be getting what at a rate of 500 they have to pay, and that to be recoverable in 10 installment, that 50 rupees, and that will be also coming in their electricity bill. Okay, so all distribution companies, private sector, discom, state power department, and rural electrification cooperative society or are eligible to get financial assistance under that. So there is a dedicated web portal that is will be created for Saubhagya. Okay, to they will be able to capture the information and progress regarding the household electrification. So what is the progress? So till now, 31st 3 2019, all household have reported electrified by the states, except 18,734 household in the left-wing extremism area in the Chhattisgarh area. And there are 7 states, northeast, like northeast Assam, then we have a southern eastern part, like we have a Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Manipur, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. They have reported around 19.09 lakh unelectrified households are there. They have been identified, and slowly they are also getting electrified. So all the states and the union territories, they have signed a memorandum of understanding with the central government that they will be supplying power to all household, industrial and complex, and adequate supply will effect from 1st April 2019 onwards, like that. Okay, so what is the impact of this Saubhagya Yojana? So the impact of these yojanas are very heavy, because supplying of electricity is a very basic need. So what is the social impact? So if you go to Maharashtra, electrification has enabled the primary health center to operate medical facility, improve healthcare service and rural population, even education. Then economic impact, like farmers in Punjab are able to get reliable, then they are able to run irrigation pump, better crop yield and everything. Then environmental impact, so this has increased use of LED bulbs, energy efficient appliance under the Saubhagya Yojana, and their overall electricity consumption has gone down. Okay, and there is a ability of rising demand which is also increasing, and there is a decrease in the use of the fossil fuel. Okay, and more renewable power is getting generated, but there are a lot of concerns are also related to the Saubhagya Yojana, because Rajasthan government has informed that around 1.5 lakh household are unelectrified and are willing to take electric connection. Okay, owing to the region hit by the left-wing extremism. Okay, but the issue is that they are finding some financial constraints, so that is why it is a big state, and it is some are in the remotest place, so sometimes it is becoming very difficult to provide the supply line over that place. Then left-wing extremism area in Chhattisgarh, they have to yet to be provided with electricity connection. Then in Uttar Pradesh has decided the center to reopen the Saubhagya scheme in the state to give another chance of the poor to get free electricity. Okay, because some families have refused to take power connection because they thought that they will be getting inflated bill, and since they were already using the illegal electricity by putting katiyas. Katiyas, what they do is they put the illegal line over to the power line, and they take the electricity from there. Okay, so they used to try to cheat the power companies like that. So they thought that if the government try to provide electricity with proper things, then they will be charged very heavy, and they will be charged in their bills, and government will be recovering their money with that, and they will get inflated. So this is a kind of a confusion in the mind of a people. Okay, so what is the recommendation that has been given for the improvement? So some of the very important recommendation that has to be that will be needed for the improvement of the Saubhagya Yojana is strengthening of the infrastructure. Like if you are investing in modernizing of the grid, Okay, so that will be providing much more efficiencies to the Saubhagya Yojana. Like Bihar is having outdated transformer and transmission line, which is causing power disruption. So if you are removing all these and you are then replacing with new type of power lines and new type of infrastructure, you will be able to properly able to get the reliable power supply. Then promotion of the renewable energy, like implementing of the solar microgrid in remote areas like in Ladakh areas and at various places. Okay, traditional grid is very impractical, so you have to provide with the microgrid system, which is visually providing you with reliable power supply. Then after that, enhancing discom financial health, which we have already discussed why distribution companies financial health is very important. If you go reforming tariff structure in Tamil Nadu, okay, they are ensuring the proper discom by providing better metering and better collection facility. Okay, so this will keeping the electricity much more affordable, and it is also reducing the thrift and also improving your billing cycle. So this will improve the discom health, and further it will also reduce the tariffs also. Then community engagement is very needed. If you wanted to have a better supply lines and everything, you need to involve the local community. Okay, leaders like in Rajasthan, they have to they have planned, they have implemented the electrification projects with the local people, what type of power they need, how much, and how they can improve their infrastructure and everything. So they are maintaining the things over there on this. So they are taking the local community is taking responsibility of maintaining their own infrastructure at that places. So what we can say about this is that we can achieve all the objective and everything because Saubhagya Yojana wanted to provide us with 24/7 quality of power supply. Okay, so all the states have been requested that they have to run a very special campaign, especially to identify the places, households and various other places, so that nobody can remain unelectrified, and they everybody should get electricity connection, and everybody. Okay, and there should be a dedicated helpline number, dedicated portal in each and every language, which should so that everybody can call in that number and they can take the benefit of that scheme wherever they want, so that everybody should get included in this whole scheme. So this is regarding the Saubhagya Yojana. So thank you so much guys, I hope all of you have enjoyed the session. Thank you so much, bye bye, take care and have a good day.